the scoreboard.
Okay.
Again, after you enter something, hit enter. And then this controls the current end slot. So first end, second end, third end, fourth end, fifth end, sixth end, seventh end, and game over.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the +1 rock? And what are the those are buttons, right? Or are they just labels?
These
that's just...
would enable auto player bars. So if you put in the player names, you can then turn on rock tracking, and you hit this button when somebody starts to throw, and their name pops up on the screen.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, don't
do that.
Not your first time. Okay.
Do you think I'm not good enough to be able to do it?
Oh, second time out, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I've
So
cast
you're
before.
good to
I just
go.
haven't done everything all at once. I've just had to talk. All right, cool. I'm gonna run the bathroom.
What? I hadn't heard of this. I can't believe it like I went there as a big thing. Apparently we are the featured cheese.
You're yellow too.
What?
You're yellow.
You picked my color.
No. Brian picked color. After you guys took hammer. You're
Oh,
the
we took hammer.
I asked Melvin, you guys want hammer, right? He said yes.
Oh, yeah, because we're the higher seed. Yeah, this is not a sheet that I take. He cut all of his hair.
What a dick. Alright. Okay. This is gonna go here. This is me. Also, congratulations to those of you, the Shaws, who won the cherry blossoms. Those others
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to playoffs of the Capital League here at the Potomac Curling Club.
Okay. Take a look, take a look. It's pretty fast. Yeah.
Got 12-7.
So we're off with the first rock for Team Dauernheim, going right into the back four, it looks like there.
Right.
This is the standing
Line's good.
3-4 game for our page play.
Okay, line's
The
nice.
winner of this game will get to face the loser of the 1-2
Line's really
game
nice.
regular
Line's good.
season as the semifinal.
Good shot.
2.5.
Bro, that is
That's a good guess, Laura. I got a 7.
Go normal.
Yellow's corner dog was
Normal, great. Three's great.
the first shot.
No line here. Oh, yeah.
Let's see what Dauernheim can come up with. Weight looks good. Enough to tap it right out. Looks like they're looking for that roll over. Hold that on the scale. No roll. Not exactly what they wanted. Still very close.
Yeah, we'll help her. Yes, yes.
10.
Yellow
Lead.
now
Yes.
hit.
Great
Whoa.
shot.
Line's good.
Absolutely, I like it.
11.
Yes. Whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Hard. Hard. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
This shot looks good. Right.
Sorry, Laura.
Hit, and it
But
was
it
a
seemed
drop.
really light.
However, Yellow does stay open right. Now the second for Team Dauernheim, Brian.
I started
ready to
with
throw
a
his
3-minute
first
ball time, so I
strike.
think everybody had time to get over. Looking pretty good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
Get on the middle stone. Here it comes.
Whoa, whoa. Back in. Whoa. All right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got room, got room. Vince, Vince. Top four. Tap. Roll, no roll. Top four? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Hard. Yep.
I think we can get behind this.
The open house.
Probably be a little heavier than T.
Yes, line, yes, line, yes, line. Yes, line.
What do you want to look at?
Where's the weight? Yes, line. Up. Yes. Yes, on that. Yep.
Yellow's still
Whoa.
off.
Great
Whoa.
shot. Great.
Good. Whoa.
Line's
Whoa,
good.
Rod. Yes.
Let's go, Hack.
Hard. Hard. Roll.
That explains why it's going to the street. Oh, yeah.
Well, that makes the question work.
Yeah.
Good. Come on, good. Going up.
Exactly what they wanted. But
Hey,
it's
going up. That's fine. 2, 3. Yes. Hard. Same weight.
looks like Red Bull hit it again. Without the hammer here, they're playing a very defensive game.
It's a line, so just
tight. Looks like they'll get the hit. And a small roll towards the center.
Probably a 9.5 to the flat roll.
That's fine. Give me that same up weight. Go through.
Not much of a roll called for yellow on this one. Looks like they want to just flop a little behind the red guard and stay in the house.
Whoa. Yes.
Draw.
Yes.
Whoa.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay, good throw.
Whoa.
Nice.
They rolled a tiny bit that they wanted. Still wide open. Looks like this end might be a few trades until the last few.
Gotta do this now. Yeah, that's fine. Back up.
Vice's stones begin now.
Same way. Perfect.
Probably
Back eight.
off with his first shot.
Yep. Hard. Yep, hard. Hard.
Sweep it all the way, just to get a piece, just to get a piece. They got it, but they roll out.
Control. Good drop.
Yeah. Yes.
The draw is looking more and more pleasant for yellow here. They want to be able to get that
Whoa,
juice
whoa,
here
whoa.
on the first end.
All right, we're crossing face. Yep. Up.
That's okay.
We're probably not going to roll in.
Laura in.
Looks like they think it's a little bit light.
Cross face. There's no way.
Laura in if you have to. Mine's getting better though. You go.
Yes, Dad. Dad.
Go ahead.
Try to talk a corner.
Yes. Yes. Where is it?
What's the weight?
Where? Whoa. Whoa.
Control.
Draw stays
Yes, yes,
open
yes,
by
yes,
a little
bounce,
bit.
bounce.
So now, they'll try to hit it.
All right, sweet. My fault. We're gonna roll off this one a little bit. Top 8. It's okay too, but I like top 8. Top 8. Right in the middle? Yeah. Yes! Hard! Draw! Away! Whoa, 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 whoa.
It rolled out to the hair, so I'm gonna give you the same line.
Whoa, 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 whoa. 4? Is it deeper than that? Yeah, it's 6. Line's good. Room. Yep. 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 Gone to the room.
Line's good.
Sorry about that. It sounds like
Make sure it's
Okay,
on.
line's fine.
Line's great. There we
Up
go.
forward.
microphone here.
Line's good.
Trying to fix our technical difficulties.
Yeah, keep going.
Right to
Very
it.
nice.
Well, here, let me
Line's perfect.
pump the volume a little bit.
Actually got a bit of room.
How's that stream going? Can you guys hear me now?
Whoa. Yes. Yes.
What's the
Whoa.
weight, guys?
Mine's good.
Freeze right to the red rock. Looks
Nice,
good
good.
here. Let's see what red dials up for their first
Run,
6
go.
stone.
Run good. Run. 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 Yes. Come down. Help. Hard. 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 Hard.
Line's good. Weight only.
Yeah, dials that last half. Kind of dials a little.
I mean, I like that. I mean, you should be able to see a bunch of it. So normally on this one. Yeah. Control. This is going to be pretty tight.
Dauernheim now ready to throw his shot.
Okay.
Looks like it's going to be a freeze back on that same yellow. Count them down.
Wow, now it's
have this. Good.
And here comes the shot.
Line's fine. Where is it? All right, leave it. Leave it.
First draw.
Never that.
Team Dauernheim.
Never that. Come on, curl over there.
Bit heavy. Oh, and they'll tap that backstone and just roll a tiny bit off. Not exactly the shot they wanted. We'll see what shot
He
we
had
have.
a lot of rotation on his,
Okay.
so
There's a little.
his was not much up. It was like close to 10.
Red now sitting 1 with yellow a little on the side. Looks like the yellow rock is open from my vantage point here in the club. Melvin Shaw now to throw his first step in the game.
Yeah!
Just off of victory in our local Cherry Blossom Bond School.
Whoa, never. Close. Yes, game! Whoa, Laura!
They'll get the hit and they'll pick it right off.
Wow, it like looked like it was gonna go. Sorry.
Yellow looks at their options to go through that hole with their hit. I want to make sure that yellow only gets 1 this time. It looks like they can't get a force, but second shot of the end. Looks like it'll be a relatively quick hit. Word here is the jam.
Take a look, not past the tee.
Look at 3. It's like not 10.
Rocks away.
That's not a solid
Line's fine.
Lightweight tap.
We got lots of room. Tons of room.
There's tons of room.
Tons of room.
Looks like it needs to curl over.
Tons of room. Adam, try and bring it over.
They get right to that yellow, tap it back. Doesn't look like it's quite enough to push it through the hole.
Up the other way.
Looks like they've left shot for two.
I mean, you have like your note. If you hit that garbage, this would have like you would have.
No, it's more like over currently.
It'll just be a nose hit now from yellow to get their 2 in the first end. Take advantage of having a higher seed here.
Yeah, I'm just worried if we come this way and underthrow, we can give out 3.
Looks like they'll take a nice heavy weight using the intern.
Just throw a solid 10 with a good release. We'll be fine, Melvin. We've got roll room.
You can hear Courtney Shaw there discussing their ability to roll. That's good.
Whoa! Close. Yep. Yes! 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 Okay, clean. Yes!
Sweet here. Looks like they've got it. Tap is straight back. Yellow will get 2. This first round. center line here. Lori Lee,
Line's really good.
Team Shaw throws her.
Actually it's a little wide.
Looks like this rock will be in the house. Let's see if they can get it to touch. No. It'll stay in the top 12 for them.
Come on, Gabe, you're better than that. Out, right?
Brian Dauernheim electing to throw a guard with this first stone of this end. Right in the corner, he's looking to get that deuce back that Shaw just took.
I think we tapped it a hair.
Board. Let's see where it goes. Board. Bring it.
Corner.
No.
Did that go through? Did it hard?
Guard.
Looks like Red didn't manage to get their rock and play on that one. Yellow will get a second stone to start this end. Shaw going with another draw here after the first rock sails into the 12 foot. Looks like it's going to hang on the outside and stay open deep in the back of the house, if at all. And no. It comes straight through. Shaw trading off the missed shot at the beginning of the end here.
It happens eventually. Hopefully we have a little better audio quality now. I've spent the last 5 minutes playing with all the little switches, so I think we can actually hear the commentary over the ice noise now.
Sorry about those technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Right there.
We should be good to go until the end of the game now.
Oh, keeping a nice clean house over here, it looks like.
I think he just wanted the roll to the outside there, but it looks like they went a little too far and ended up just going out.
Yep.
Dad, early.
Gabriel Kempenich throwing the second stones here for Team Shaw.
Right there.
A little bit of a slip over there on the delivery. Let's hope that doesn't sit there and throw anything off.
That looks heavy.
Straight. Good throw.
I think it's more than that. No sense.
Yeah, normal.
As you all heard, it looks to be only a bit heavy, but it looks like the sweepers have come on off of that. Might just end up stopping in the top 4.
Nice
That's a
throw,
good shot
right
for
about
them.
to tee. Top 4.
Let's see what Dauernheim decides to do here. Will he get risky and try to play guards this late, or is he just going to hit? Thanks, Keith, for your comment on the audio. We're fully run by our members here, so it's very helpful when you guys can let us know if we're having problems. And here comes the shot. Looks like it'll be a roll across the center line. Not too far, still staying in the top 4. Looks like we're going to have another end here of trading hits. We'll see if there's a slight jam near the end like we had last end to allow a deuce. Or
Very
if we're going to
interesting.
be nice and clean.
It's just a race to sit there and hang that blank.
It's definitely my favorite place to hang the score.
Whoa, don't clean. Good throw. Yeah, that's fine, Laura.
It'll stay.
There's the skip beating me to the commentary. Looks like a good throw there from Gabriel.
I still like peeling.
Now we'll see Dauernheim dial up the hit again. See if he can't get a roll towards the outside. Make that hit a hair harder. Sorry about the delay there on the rocks. I'm trying to keep up with your commentary here.
Oh, just nudges back towards the middle there.
Yeah. Looks like they missed their shot. This may give yellow a chance to try to get a steal. Look like they want to guard this stone, make red's difficulties great this end. See if they can't steal a point. For those of you watching who don't know these teams all that well, for Team Shaw, throwing the yellow rocks currently, at lead, we have Laura Yee as the second, Gabriel Kempenich. The throwing third and vicing is Courtney Shaw, and skipping and throwing the fourth rocks, Melvin Shaw. And here are the rocks away. On the other side, the red rocks, Team Dauernheim placed fourth in the regular season here for the Potomac Capital League. The lead there today, Brian Ewert playing second, Vince Saratella. Vicing is Bob Williams.
Oh, never came back over for him.
And skipping is obviously Brian Dauernheim himself.
The man himself.
Looks like the guard doesn't quite cover the rock they want. Red's going to have a chance here now to hit and just roll behind that guard. Really give them a chance to get the two they wanted here.
Line's good. Whoa, line's good.
They get that cut right at the end. Let's see if they can get the roll. No.
Stuck right on top of it.
Looks like it was cutting a little there at the end, but just not quite enough. Not quite enough.
And they were trying to sweep it over a bit, but not as much as they wanted on that. Looks like Team Shaw will sit there and attempt the same shot themselves.
By the sounds of it, it looks like they're...
Nice shot there,
That's
nice
a great
shot.
shot. Great shot. As we can see on this camera here, we got it slipped just a little over the guard. Looks like it's buried nicely there. It's going to be very hard for Bob to be able to make this shot here. Looks like they're just going to go with the hit on the guard. See if they can't get a double here, but I think the first thing is just going to be the peel.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that.
Whoa! Dad's close. Dad, you can help, Ron. Go to you. Hard. 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 Hard, Dad. Yes. Yes. All the way, all the way. After all, yes.
Hard on the sweep call here.
They missed the double,
Coming
but
inside.
get the hit on the guard. Looks like they'll stay in the house over here on the right, too. The yellow now going to continue the defensive game. Hit that red rock. Probably try to stay around nose. Keep their rocks kind of separate. Don't allow red a double here.
What kind of way are you going to throw, Shane? Okay.
Doesn't look like they'll get the stick, but...
They'll get the hit, but they'll roll right out.
Yeah, they just floated out there on the edge. It was either a little wide or just floated on him.
That's going to leave Dauernheim here with a chance to hit it and stick around. Probably going to end up being a blank end here.
That's what it's looking like, definitely.
Barring any errors in these next 3 shots.
Okay, for an update of the scores on the other sheets, currently on sheet A, it looks like it is Team Dobbs versus, who else is there on the ice with them? Looks like Todd's over there. Currently, we have a list of all the teams over here. And we make it up as we go.
Yeah. The hit from Dauernheim here does not quite roll as much as they would have liked and ends up spilling off. So an open house here for Melvin Shaw to draw down to. I think we'll be seeing another hit here from Brian Dauernheim. This time, trying to spill, get that blank end.
Okay. On sheet A, for an update, we have Dobbs versus Humdrum. Dobbs is red, and they are currently up 2-0 in the second end. On sheet B, we have Shaw versus Dauernheim, and currently Shaw is up 2-0 and going into the end of the second end. On sheet C, we have Clausen versus Kakags.
It's our 1-2 playoff matchup, playing for the club championship here.
It looks like Kegs is currently going to sit there and throw one of their last stones, and they are up 2-0 on Clausen. And on sheet D, we have Tony's Beer Distributor versus Smith. And once I see someone throw a stone, I will let you know which team. Well, this is easy. It is currently 0-0. Neither team is in the lead. Does not matter who it is then.
Dauernheim setting up here to get this hit and roll out again, really blank this end, like we said. And the last shot of the second end is away here. Looks like they need a little bit. Here we go. Bob calling for the roll. They're trying to roll it hard, get all the way out of the house, and out it goes. Looks like they successfully blank this end. The third end now beginning. Score is Shaw 2, Dauernheim 0.
Well, we'll have camera control here in a second. I failed in my attempt to get to the F6 button to sit there and switch over the camera views.
That's all right. That's why we have 2 people.
You should have taken a couple more minutes. I would have sat there and eventually got to it. I was literally going through every single last button on the keyboard until I found it.
I mean, that's the way to do it when you don't exactly know where to press.
It's been far too long. What's the worst case scenario? I sit there and kill the entire computer system?
Yeah. Worst case, the people at home have to sit there for about half an end while we boot everything right back up.
Yeah, it's moving a ton. Yeah, over and drop.
And Smith is Nick Smith, not Terry Smith.
Line's good.
That's for sheet D.
Oh, clean it. Yep, Brian. Line's good. Wait on lane. Okay, you're losing line. Over and up. Over and up. Line's over and up. Up. That one actually curls like the pig out there. Okay. Still seems like there's going past.
Looks like they get the guard just over the hog line. It's like it was running away from them there, getting way too close to the side. They're going to want to try to get this deuce with the corner guard, but that might be just a little too high for what they want to do.
Where is it? Whoa. Put it in! Yes. Hard roll, Dan. Hard roll. Good shot. That was good weight. My bad.
Line's fine. It actually is room. It actually is room.
Looks like that's still running on him down there. Getting into the back of the house for him.
Looks like we'll be a little bit deep. Nope. It'll end up staying back 8. Not exactly what they wanted.
What about that same throw in the first end you had?
Normal. Yes, line.
Yes.
Another
My
shot
mistake
over
here on
at
the
the
team
draw.
for Dauernheim. Looks to me like Brian Ewart is actually throwing the second stones today. Vince Saratella throwing lead, not the other way around. My apologies for that earlier. Looks like they get just around the guard. Need to push it over, but they're stopping for the weight.
We got the T-line.
Nice
behind there.
T-line weight on that. Stays up in front. Gets good and behind the guard. Seems like a good shot to me.
Yeah, I think they're pretty happy with that.
Control. Go 10. Control. Yeah.
Well, Team Shaw seems to think are they trying to get an angle at that? Do they think they can get to it, or are they going to sit there and try the run back?
Looks like they're trying the angle on the back, but it looks like they over-buried a little on this roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm
from
wondering.
The
My
he's
angle, I can't
coming.
see it, but
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to get at this shot from the left side. So we'll see how this goes. There must be a little space there on the left that we can't see here from our commentating booth.
they're all the way out there. It looks like they're just going to flash it.
And hangs.
Never came back on that side.
That same up weight.
Very floaty here on the edges.
Yes.
It can be any Smith you want it to be, Keith.
Hard. Whoa. Yes.
Bob Williams now trotting down the ice to try his luck at sweeping here on the fourth shot of the end.
Looks like they're just going to try to throw a second one back over there in that corner.
This one's slightly better buried.
Yeah, this one appears to be staying a bit narrower. The other one I felt like was much closer to the guard when they passed. This is a bit heavy too.
Yeah, it looks like because it's heavy. Didn't quite curl as much as they wanted.
Want a shot at it?
Well, it doesn't look like Bob had to show off his amazing sweeping abilities this round then.
And it looks like Shaw will have another shot at this hit on the outside. I'm sure we'll see them coming up with a little less weight this time. Try to skinny that guard a little closer.
Yeah, I think
It looks like they're taking about the same ice, just
like a 10.
probably aren't going to try to sit there and kill it on this one.
Close. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep.
Oh, they've actually got it this time.
They've got it by, and they've got the hit clean, and they roll right out, leaving themselves just one rock sitting in the house.
Hard.
Now the question here, is he going to try to go put that back, or will he just hit the yellow?
Hard tell.
Well,
I feel like he likes a stone there, but
yeah, with Hammer here, I don't think he minds it being there so much.
yeah, he can always get to that later. It looks like they're going to try to put the guard or put the
It's actually
stone
pretty
back there
similar
again.
ice either way, so I'm not sure at all. He's got the broom there right next to the rock. It's a little ahead, which makes me kind of think they're going for the draw instead of the hit.
No line. No line.
Yeah, Bob's got the proper handle for the draw on the stone right now.
So it'll be a draw back behind those guards. Let's see if they can't bury it a little better, not leave that space open on the left side of the guard. It is pretty high though, so we'll see if our curly ice here will allow Shaw to get to it either way.
Yep, gotta go.
Oh, going on it for weight and some curl right now.
Here we go as they come drawing in. Will they be able to get to the house?
Looks like they're definitely top 12.
But I don't think they'll get buried like they want.
No, there's still a little piece of that rock over there.
They get the bite, but it's wide open for Curly. Nice lightweight hit coming from Team Shaw here. I'm sure they're looking to use their stellar sweepers.
Hard. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Plenty of weight. No need for sweeping right now. Another one just a little off the mark.
They seem to think it's a little up, and nope, it does not get back. Looks like both teams making mistakes here early.
Just getting set in for the end of the game. Get all your jitters out and burn or flash a couple stones early in the game. Makes it easier to sit there and hit the hits later. Looks like they're going to try to put it back again.
Try to get this tap on the other team's rock and
Yeah, this was a
roll
tap this
behind
time.
their own.
They lost it.
Looks like they miss again. Another miss coming around. Lots and lots of misses this game.
This much? Are you kidding me? You have like a whole rock.
It's the after cherry blossom malaise that happens. Everyone's already enjoyed the warm weather. They don't want to be on the ice anymore.
Yeah.
Throw a couple stones, have a beer, call it a day.
But you know, in a few months, everybody will be itching to get back on the ice when we can't.
Oh, exactly. Give it a month time off and you know what, nothing else.
That's so much ice. No wonder I missed it.
A very honest comment over there.
Melvin Shaw ready to throw his first stone here. See if he can get the hit that Courtney could not.
Oh, they've definitely got a piece of the stone. They're going to lose the shooter, though, it looks like.
And, yep, looks like the shooter will be rolling right out the right side of the house.
just outside.
Yep.
They almost held that.
Just outside, as we can see here. Keep in mind we got a little fisheye effect going on these cameras, so it may not be totally right, but it does look like we've got a little space here on the yellow in the back of the house.
We need the underwater bubble effect for all of the cameras for the fisheye version of it. Windows screensaver, save us.
Brian Dauernheim looking like he's trying this hit again. Probably a lightweight hit. He might actually be trying just the draw by itself right now. Keep his rock behind the house, leave himself the hit as the last one. Might be a better decision. Let's see which way he's holding the handle. This ice is pretty good for either one. And he holds the handle ready for the draw. Really trying to go behind that guard one more time. Just keep it out of reach. Looks like they're going for weight. Will they be able to get it there? Will it be enough?
Oh, I don't know.
Looks like we're going to touch the paint. Oh. Looks like they've got paint there to me, but it does not look buried. We're going to have a repeat.
No, not at all, yeah.
Of the last shot here.
That's almost identically placed to where the last stone was.
You know what they say, sometimes the hardest shot you have to throw is the one you just threw.
That's the only shot I ever asked my skip not to call again.
You like the broom?
We got the room lined up around the same spot as last time. Looks like they can even see a hair more of the rock this time.
Do you want to see anything?
And we're away.
No.
Throw through.
That was a very definitive no for the sweep call.
Counts to be a hair up. See if it can
All right, good.
curl
That's
up.
not
Yep. Looks like Courtney thinks that Gabe got the timing wrong on that one, but shot works out anyway. Looks like it's going to be very hard for Dauernheim to blank here.
Yep, looks like they're going to get a force of one here.
He does have the double that he could play, but it seems like it's too risky a shot for him. Looks like we'll just have the hit on the shot stone. I'm going to try to nose to get one.
Do you like the call for the hit here, or do you want to sit there and get your skip some draw ability and some draw testing? Sit there and call the draw down to... They only have to be completely within the red.
But they really want to stay in this game here. Giving up a steal is really not good.
Yeah, especially if you completely miss the draw and you sit there and let it steal too.
Exactly. Obviously, we would assume that they would do a little better, and the backing helps, but it might just be too much risk too early in the game.
If in doubt, hit a stone.
Looks like this is curling nicely right to the stone, sweeping it a little at the end.
Yep.
And they'll get that nose hit. And red will take one here in the third end. Brings our score to Shaw 2, Dauernheim 1, and that's after 3.
We need a jingle at the end of that.
Boo-doo-doo!
Exactly. Go to commercial here at the Potomac Curling Club Network. It just rhymes off the tongue so well.
The Capital Ice Sports Radio Network.
You've really got that 1920s New York accent going over there.
Only if I try really hard. Sometimes I'll slip into my Canadian. But we do a lot of voices. We'll have fun here.
I expect to hear at least 10 by the end of the cast.
We'll see if 10 end up being needed. nice, easy guard. Looks like they're just trying to push it a little closer to the center there. And there's a nice rock.
That looks kind of long, like a 5?
Nice center guard. Looks to be about halfway between the hog line and the house.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Got room. Room.
Yeah, I'd say that's back house over here.
Get right around the guard. See if it stops in time to be where they want. No, the rock goes a little bit deep.
Yeah, overcurled a bit.
Yeah. Looks like Brian's trying to decide here if he wants to throw another guard, set himself up for a steal, or if he wants to play it safe. Maybe hit or freeze. Looks like he'll be calling the freeze. Get aggressive early here. At that point back, you couldn't quite get last end.
Both teams try to make a decision themselves.
Now that the third end is done on all of our games here, I'll give you another update. Over on A, we have Dobbs throwing red rocks up 2-1 over Humdrum. Here on our sheet, obviously, we've got a 2-1 lead for Shaw over Dauernheim. A 3-2 lead from Clausen over K-Kegs on C. And a 2-1 lead for team. It looks like team Tony's Beer Distributor is playing up against
Team Smith.
Team Smith. Yes.
Everything's a close game currently. That's always good.
All in the fourth end.
Yes.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's really good. Yes. Line's really good. Whoa.
Every game has had a blank so far.
Yep, line's perfect.
I am maybe as impressed about the closeness of the games as the fact that every game has had a blank.
Well, you would hope you'd have some high-quality curling here at the end of the season. All these people don't want to leave with a sour taste in their mouth.
No, not at all. It's a hard way to sit there and spend the off season.
If only I could have rolled another inch on that hit, you know. Definitely not something you want to be telling yourself in July. I know if I were playing these games, it would hang heavy in my mind all summer.
I'm trying to think of a comment to that and I'm failing. I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
Okay, it looks like Keith wants to know who our commentators are. I am providing some additional commentating backup, and I am Joe Morrison.
And I guess we can call it lead play-by-play, but I'm not sure exactly, but I'm Gilad Kempenich.
Now, if no one's going to sit there and give you that title, take the lead title.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
will.
pay
I will.
raise.
You know what? I am the lead commentator here, working the cameras,
Get that guac. Get that.
getting my commentary in for the season. Full disclosure for those of you listening to at home, I am actually the 5th player on Team Dauernheim here, so if I slip into a little bias, please forgive me.
We have a little home commentator bias going on over here. Which of the voices that you do is the home commentator bias?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
It transcends all the different voices?
Absolutely.
That leaves the freeze open. Right now it's blocking the freeze.
I think the Shaw's having a long discussion here about what they want to do this end. They're sitting nicely with 2 rocks in the house, but it doesn't look like the guards are making them all that happy with the hammer here. Looks like they're going to try a double peel here on the redstones. As you astute listeners might have heard, Gabe Kempenich throwing the rock right now has a very familiar last name to another commentator sitting on the booth. So, as you may have guessed, I play with my younger brother a great deal. And so now,
Except for our Wednesday league.
seeing him throw this heavy hit, looks like they'll get one of the guards all the way out, but it looks like they'll only move the other. Leave them covering the right side of the house from where we're looking, but leave their own rocks in the middle open. So probably not exactly what they wanted to do here.
So my real question here, Keith, is Gildad actually Enrique then?
I would say yes.
The amount of love outpouring from Keith over here is amazing. I feel emboldened for my game at late draw already.
Ooh, they just get around that guard.
Yeah, that was a nice hit
End
right
up with
there.
a nice double and a little roll behind the guard by a little bit. End up right on the center line. Great sweep there from Team Dauernheim. And of course, Melvin here going to clear the guards. He couldn't last shot.
Below the front end open.
Gabe trying for a double peel again here.
If at first you don't succeed, just throw more weight.
Looks like he's calling for the same weight, so I guess it wasn't that was the issue. Let's see what happens. Here it comes.
Well, they definitely got rid of the middle one. Second one's bounced a bit out of the way too, so.
Taps it back, but that corner guard really isn't going to help Red all that much this end without the hammer. Looks like they're going to play shot to put it right back. Guard themselves up again on the center line.
I pulled it out. He just like released inside nose.
No? Or if they're going to hang on the center line here. Looks like
Looks like they're going to forego going a little deeper to make sure their rock doesn't over curl and leave an opening to hit. They end up with the guard right down the center line. Again, about halfway between the hog and the house. Obviously good enough for Shaw to want to peel. Look, Keith, I'm sorry, but I don't know what sake exactly you're talking about.
Well, the problem is we have two Keiths talking to us currently.
Oh, do we? Oh, man.
They both are claimed to be Keith Wood, but I feel it's two distinct people.
Oh, my dad likes the sake. I don't know then. I'd have to ask him. Looks like Shaw got the peel they wanted here. Wide open. Doesn't look like they've left anything like they did on the last few.
Best part is we can get a definitive decision on the sake. We can ask all three of your family what they think of the sake. 3 out of 3 Kipaniches pulled, and we will have a decision. There are no ties in this.
That's right. That's right. We call it the Supreme Court of Japanese alcohols. That was awful. I'm sorry. Low effort jokes here at the Potomac Curling Club tonight.
Too late in the season for that.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're replacing this guard. It's a bit closer to the other still than they might want it to be, but
Still nicely on the center line. Looks like they'll leave Shaw with a double opportunity. I know I would feel enticed.
Yeah, unless you want to do this. Up. Okay. Yes.
The call is the double here. Looks like they want to get the red a little on the left side, across the face of the rock in the house, and make sure theirs rolls off.
Quite a bit of weight behind this throw.
As we would have expected, having to move
It
two
looks like
rocks
it's
and
going
still
to
roll
cross
out.
all the way across.
And she crosses the face, gets the straight jam, and leaves her own rock. Not exactly what they wanted. That's probably going to give Dauernheim a chance to steal here. Now coming, he's going to come down with his first stone. It sounds like they're going to play the tap. They're going to make this this yellow run a little tougher, guard a little bit more of the house, make their draw a little harder. See if they can't steal one and tie the game here.
Yep, yep. All the way, guys. All the way. All the way. All the way.
Our apologies about the yelling out on the ice. We've got ambient microphones going throughout our whole shed, so some of this yelling you're hearing is from our other games.
Some of the skips in this game enjoy getting their frustration out on Wednesday nights. Later in this cast, we will sit there and put a poll for your guesses on to who is the loudest person on the ice. Rewards will be some sake that apparently is completely horrible.
Do we actually have a bottle of that here to taste, or no?
I have no idea. I'm sure Keith would be willing to sit there and part with one, though. Well, it looks a little slow.
How much, T?
That line call not coming from our sheet.
Go, yeah. That's not enough to bump this thing. Both, you gotta both go. Don't worry about that.
Oh, they're going to hopefully freeze on this at this point.
It looks like they'll get a small tap,
But
not close to as much as they wanted. Looks like they're going to try the run here. Melvin doesn't seem to think that he can get the double just by
yeah, I
hitting
think
the
that's
rocks real hard.
it's really thin on that. I don't know if you can get past that guard and actually get the double off of it.
It's going to be very, very tough. So it looks like he'll try the run back. Worst case, he'll clear the guard and allow himself the shot on
The
his
next
last
one. And there's
Courtney calling out exactly what we were just saying. Oh, looks like they're going to be calling the draw instead.
It's a good thing we have a couple minute delay. We need the...
Too bad we don't have one.
Yes.
Brian's trying to talk to me here through the glass. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to say, but he's definitely saying something.
I believe he is insulted by our lame jokes. That's what I was getting out of that.
That would truly be torture if they had to sit out there and curl while hearing our terrible jokes.
I feel like that is something that should be included in a Bonneville somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Commentary cast live to the arena. I'm sure we would get a little more response back when we called players out for their mistakes.
Oh no, that'd be great. This does not look like a draw currently. No, okay, it will be, but...
Oh, and they just barely get it by the guard. Looks like they're trying to get it by the other red.
That was pretty.
And it ends up sitting back four. Great shot there from Melvin.
I would have sat there and bet money that was going to hit on their guard based off of how it was going, but he got right by that.
He keeps the rock well guarded, and it doesn't even look like the red freeze ends up jamming on the yellow rock. So they're going to have some difficulty here to take it out or count down maybe.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're just going to try to follow him down that same line.
Yeah, I think that's the best shot you've got here. Just try to throw top four weight. If you get the freeze dead on, red can't do anything, and you end up with a steal of one. So
yeah, that is the one benefit for that rock being back with a button there. If he does get a perfect freeze, that's very difficult for Shaw to sit there and find a way to get a point themselves.
That's right. There is a little space, so they might be able to draw down themselves and still get one, but closing up that that scoring area is going to be very beneficial for Team Dauernheim.
If he could ever get a draw to freeze, this is the one.
Taking his time, getting ready for the shot, discussing with the sweepers.
Looks like they're on it for line. Oh, there it's going.
Plenty of room. Here's the turn we've got. Oh, it looks like they've got it by the guard too.
Looking pretty good.
Looking like
Oh,
a
it's gonna be
very
short.
nice shot. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. I'm not sure at all whose shot. I think it's yellow though. Let's get a shot of the house here. Yeah, looks like still yellow 1. Looks like Shaw is going to have a draw off the other side. See if they can't put another one full 4 and get a deuce again.
Be a good way to end the end.
Here's the draw for Hammer.
On an early for line.
They really got to
Now
make
looks
sure
like
they
for
get
weight
by.
even.
All they need is full 4-foot. They're sweeping real hard.
Oh, it's going to be short. That's going to be top 8.
Yeah, it looks like they'll just bite the top 8. It's going to be 1 for yellow, they both agree. Halftime break here now at the Potomac Curling Club. Luckily, we're the last sheet to get here to the 5th end, so we should be able to give you guys score updates for all the other sheets in 1 moment.
Okay, on sheet A, Dobbs versus Humdrum. The score looks to currently be, is that a 4-2? 3-2.
Nope, 3-2.
3-2 with, looks like Team Humdrum is in the lead. On sheet B, the score is...
That's our game.
People may want to know what the score is, too. I mean, I know you
It's
have it on
sitting at the top. We've got 3-1 Shaw over Dauernheim in the top right corner of your screen.
On sheet C, it looks like the score currently is 3-2 also. Every single last skip and or vice is standing in front of the score on all of the scoreboards. So that's the reason it takes a couple minutes to sit there and pass these off.
A little difficult for us. Actually, I think it's 3-3 here on C. So we've got a tie between K-Kegs and Clausen in that 1-2 playoff match.
And then on D, it is 3-1. And it looks like the 3 points is not Nick Smith's team.
Yeah, so it's going to be Tony's Beer Distributors.
There we go. I just call all the teams based off the color pants they're wearing.
That's really the way to do it. More people should wear ridiculously colored pants in curling.
We have Team Baltimore over here with Adams pants. I actually wonder if, are those supposed to be Baltimore colors, or that just happened to be what he got?
I don't think so. I think he just happened to get yellow and black pants. They don't look like they've got the square corners that the Baltimore flag
Yeah, it's
does.
like houndstooth pattern with like yellow and black on it. Very distinctive pants, though.
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure I knew him by the color of his pants for probably a year before I actually knew his name.
Funny how that works out in curling. Yeah, we're having some issues here with the freezing cameras on our end that we can see. It looks like they're hopping back, though, relatively quickly. So I'm not exactly sure what we can do about them, but we are seeing them here. It's not just you, Keith.
It might just be the ability of the MacBook Mini to sit there
And push out
handle
all this
the
data.
streams. Yeah, that's what we're going to blame it on.
Although it does say perfect streaming right now, so that's high praise for itself, I guess.
It actually says perfect. Wow, that gives no room for any errors.
Nope, not at all. Pushing a cinematic 29 frames per second here to you.
That's beautiful. Tears are coming to my eye right now.
There's not much of a hole. Burn. Yes, yes.
Looks like this is
Yes,
Gabe's first shot.
whoa.
I believe so.
Going for a bit. Well, he's going to get a hit and roll, but it looks like he's going to lose
He
his
hits
shot
the
rock over
guard.
there.
They're sweeping. I don't know. No, and it rolls right out. Looks like he wanted to just keep it nice and open, not allow those guards on the sides to get multiple points this end.
Keep him down there at 1.
At worst, get the force.
Being up 2 with the hammer is not a bad place to be.
Plenty of space. Looked like they were going to cut it real close to that guard there. Oh,
Gonna
and
curl
wow,
right down
what
onto
a
it.
cut right at the end, right down to the Yellowstone, just right on the nose of it. Taps it back a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like they got it to the top 4 foot.
That's fine. Even a little short's okay if it comes up.
Shaw looking like they're going to follow them down and just do the same thing. Just tap back a little bit, leave themselves their open draw to the 4 foot like they want.
Yes. Line's good. Four's perfect. Easy. Control. Hasn't turned yet. Let's go this way. Where is it?
Looks like this one won't cut back as hard as the last rock did. It's going to go a little deeper than the last shot. Probably ended up being about the same weight.
Looks like it's just a little bit of a bounce off that other one, too.
Just a hair behind, as you guys can see. Looks like they're going to try to just tap it back and get this double off the 2 yellow stones sitting in the house.
go all John Madden on this now.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Oh, and it looks like they flashed it.
I'm having flashbacks to the second end right now.
Many, many misses led to just a blank.
I wonder if
We'll
they're
see
having
if
a
we
harder
have a-
time reading the ice going this direction, because we saw almost no misses when they were coming back towards the announcer booth, but
That's true.
Quit running on the
That's
guards,
true.
then.
Oh,
Guard.
looks like they're going to call a guard here when they're now shot 2 stones near the middle. I think they're content to take 2.
that would definitely put the pressure on the Red Rocks at this point in time.
Definitely. Oh, my mistake. They don't have hammer this end. They just took 1. So they'll just be trying to guard and keep their 2 rocks.
Yep, yep.
Are we trying to leave a fucking triple?
Yeah, I believe it's red.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that happened. Awesome. Who knew? Learning new things about our casting
know.
software every minute here.
You can even go completely out of the way if you want to sit there and update all the values over here in the selected buttons.
No. That's enough. That's enough.
Oh
That's
man,
enough.
I love the dissolves, the lead names showing up on there.
Yeah. No, that's too much work here for our league matches. If you tune in for our Bonspiels, though, we'll have all the player names, full, high quality broadcasting.
Yes.
High production value for sure.
If nothing else, lots of commentary.
We've got the best commentary, folks.
It is the best. We are succinct and to the point. We don't want to sit there and confuse you with too many additional words. Quite a bit of weight behind this.
Right, come on, hard. Come on,
Looks like
hard.
it's real close to the guard here. Ooh, they'll get the first one, but end up tapping their own stone back. Their shooter rolls up a little bit. Looks like out of the house, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, the shooter is
it
now
looks
currently in a
like-
guard position.
The shooter looks like it's
Biting,
almost
maybe.
biting, perhaps? I'm not sure, but they have opened up their opponent's stones for hitting. Looks like Shaw is going to try to take Red's main stone sitting there in the 8-foot and just hit it back. No guards here on the left side of the house, so we'll see what they decide to do. A long discussion here between the Shaws. They finally decide on the hit on the red stone out on the left. The second shot rock. Or maybe third? I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah,
It's very close.
it'd be very close between those two to determine.
For the guard.
Looks like they may be trying to replace this guard over here on the side.
Just not allow this double that Brian's got open for Bob to throw. Looks like it's going to be nice. They're not really sweeping it. So they'll try for a small finish here at the end. Just push it slightly closer to the center. Nice 2-3 guard. Great shot there. Covers it up nicely. Looks like there is
There's
still
a
a hole
port through there, but I don't think you get the double if you hit that hole.
Exactly. I don't think so. They may try to go into it left to right here. Get the edge of the yellow rock. Maybe they'll get both. but they might just end up getting one. So I don't know how useful that is for them.
That's a brave shot.
Definitely brave.
Looks like they are going to try to sit there and go through that hole. Same weight as last time was the call. Let's see if they can get over enough to get that double.
Same weight. I'm just letting them know. I'm okay coming down there. Can you get around it? I like that. Down to it? All right. Just lean, just lean. Lean, lean. Yep, yep.
Oh, peeled both the guards away. Now it's a nice empty open house.
I don't like that. If you make that for him, I mean, he's still. So I guess what happens if you leave the guard? He probably plays that, right? I think this is the right call. Ken, Melvin. Great shot. Okay. Woo. Yeah, I'd rather peel than wreck.
First skip stone here for Shaw. As you guys heard, they would rather peel off that red than wreck and land against their own stones.
Oh, no.
Plenty of line, it looks like. Way out on the outside. Oh no, they might tap. Oh, nope, and they flash entirely.
That side over there is causing people troubles.
Yeah, it looks a little floaty over here on the left, just not quite curling when you turn the weight up.
Good shot. Get down to it. Okay.
Dauernheim to try to get this double now. This will be a big shot for them.
Completely open now, too.
With this hit and roll slightly to the right, I think they could be sitting 3, assuming that front rock is in the house. It's very close at this angle, really hard for us to tell.
It's the moment they've been waiting for all game.
This
Mr. 2
could be their break. Obviously, Shaw would still have... No. Never mind.
Shaw has one more
I
stone
keep
after
getting
this.
confused with who has hammer. My apologies.
Little line there.
Yeah.
Hard to see on the online stream.
Looks like they need to sweep. I think they're just going to end up getting one and rolling the wrong way. Not exactly what they wanted. They leave the Yellowstone right in the middle of the house. Still sitting in the top 4, I believe. Yeah, just biting the top 4 here. Shaw deciding what they're going to do with their last stone of the end.
I mean, what's their option? This?
They're looking at a hit, perhaps, try to get the red rocks out of there, but that's a very risky play. Never a good idea. Well, not never, but a difficult idea to try to run back with your opponent's stones. You need to come with a lot of weight for that shot. I don't know that the triple is quite there.
Yeah, I understand the allure of trying to get the hits, but I just feel like that would possibly put you in a worse position.
If I were them, I might just, yeah. So Gabe going down. Looks like he's just trying to call the draw. get that force of one. If they can out-count one of the rocks and not leave a double, they'll force the one from Dauernheim.
Yep. Split the house off a little bit.
I also don't mind throwing a guard here, honestly, you know?
I think they're worried about the tap if you sit there and...
That is true. You can end up with... run back over on these left 2 red stones that are biting the 12-foot. Slight exasperation from Team Shaw here. Looks like they don't really want to discuss very much more.
It's time for them to be in the heck. Throw the stone.
Yep. Seems like they're going to go with this draw here. Just go to the open area and
Split
try
the house
to
a little bit and
try to keep their opponent to 1. Only thing is they can't leave a double here. A double would really be terrible for them. They could end up giving 4. Looks like they're deciding to change the shot to split their own rock off. I don't know if I like this call here. There's a lot of risk of tapping back too much or doing a lot of different things that they may not want to do. This is very little ice for it, too. I'm not really sure what they want to do.
Yeah, I thought the draw was the more direct route here. I mean, the benefit of this route is if they sit there and they're a little light, they might still end up with a guard anyway. But
our apologies for the frozen cameras.
They're not light.
Here comes their rock. Looks like good weight, actually. They'll get the tap slightly back, but they do leave the double.
Double is there.
So it looks like Dauernheim will line it up, see what he can do, and try to nail this for 4, perhaps 3. We're not really sure. We do have some time limits for this game, but I don't think we're getting close. Let me quickly check, and I will let you guys know. Looks like we've got about 30 minutes left on the clock in the club. At that point, we're going to allow the teams to just finish the end that they're on. That's 1:53, I believe, after the start of the game. So they're on track to finish 8 ends, I believe. Because this is the 5th, right? Or it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
Oh,
they've got the tick, and yep, they
got it.
Get the double. Let's see how many they hang. Looks like it was 3 or 4 for Dauernheim there. Puts him right back in the game.
Looks like it's the 4.
Looks like it was a 4. Wow. That's a huge swing in the game now.
Have to give the props over there to Dauernheim on that hit. It was exactly what they needed to be.
Mm-hmm. Great one, right to finish the 5th. Coming down the 6th, 3 ends left. Now instead of a difficult game down 2, he is up 2 without the hammer. First shot for Dauernheim. Looks like they're going to stick over near the corner. They're trying to get into the house.
I think they want it in the house, yeah.
I'm not exactly sure why, but looks like they want to play a more defensive game here against Shaw. He's calling his shot. Over on the opposite side of the sheet, it looks like. From the weight they're throwing, it looks like it may be in.
Oh, that's just going.
Wow.
That's going.
It, like
it hit something.
Picked on something there. I think it had to.
That can't feel good. After the end, they just gave up, and then
They are
first
looking
stone to pick.
very unhappy here in the game.
Throwing that one through.
Not really sure why they did that.
Not exactly sure either.
I don't know what they were trying. It's going to give Shaw another chance at their shot.
I think they're just trying to leave the house mainly open so they can go to a hit game.
Yeah, play it nice and clean. It is a little early for that, though. I feel like they should be doing something else. I don't really know what.
I feel like you have another end to play your game. And
yeah,
then
you know, I don't know why you wouldn't just put another guard up near the center, you know?
Only thing I can think of is if they're not confident in that, they just prefer to get into the hit game, and they're not even going to get this one across the house. No, they are. But
It's really close. Oh, and they get it across.
yeah, just there.
Looks like it'll be about a 1-2. And Dauernheim already on the second stones here, ready to peel. Doesn't want to mess with anything in front of the house, basically at all. Probably a smart play on his part.
Hey, if there's no stones in the house, no points can be had. Strategy works until you can no longer hit stones. Then the strategy falls apart.
Well, then you end up with those throw-throughs like we just had. And they take that yellow stone. Looks like they get a nice clean peel there. And Shaw will try to put it right back.
Looks like they're trying to put the guard back over here. Going all the way into the house, actually. That's going to be about down to T.
Yep. Looks like about T. Maybe even a little deeper. They may end up being back house. Either way, Dauernheim will be hitting the stone, so it doesn't quite matter that much. Looking for just another peel, it looks like. Not even going to worry about the roll behind their own rock. Pretty good out here on the weight. Coming nice and heavy. A little clean. You can hear him say they're good. There's the tick.
Both gone. Nice shot.
And off it goes. Shaw again. Going to call the exact same shot. See if they can't get a miss out of Team Dauernheim here. They're probably content to blank at this point, too.
Anything that progresses this game closer to the end.
This has a nice added effect of speeding them up. It's going to allow them to actually be able to play the full 8 ends here.
Oh, a lot of sweeping going on this stone right here. That does not look like where they want that to be.
The skip coming out to help.
They'll have it across, but
Picks
not
up the
much
sweep.
more.
They get it just across the hog. Not quite to a 2-guard. And again, the peel from Dauernheim.
Peel from the University of Phoenix.
So, here's some crazy. What about...
And for those that are not paying attention, he's wearing red socks, which is the commercial for the University of Phoenix.
I didn't know that. Commentator going over my head. Don't feel bad at home. Even us here sometimes don't get what we're saying. They'll get that touch and a nice clean peel. Shaw trying it one last time. Really just hoping for a miss at this point.
I mean, you could throw like back 8 and...
Weight on this one's a bit better than it's been in the past. It's dying on in there. It's going to be another 2-guard.
Another high guard for Dauernheim to hit.
Another expertly crafted peel over there.
Yep.
None of these have stuck around. They have removed all of the shooting stones from play.
Yep. Their hit game is definitely strong. All right, looks like Shaw is going to give a little more ice, try the draw behind now.
Well, they've taken a different turn on this one this time.
Yeah. Looks like they'll try to just
draw
get
in
behind that guard. Going to make it a lot tougher to hit for Dauernheim. Here it comes.
Waits down to T here.
Looks like they want to push it over, get that berry.
They're going to be top 4, top 4.
Hard sweep at the end. They'll end up full 8, but not quite behind the guard. They'll still allow that hit to be had on that lone rock sitting in the house.
Looks like most of our games are getting near the end of their 6th end, so once all of those games finish up, we will sit there and give you a score update for all of the sheets.
We'll have that for you right after our sheet finishes with the 6th end.
Right after these brief announcements.
This game brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
No curling involved.
Seriously, though, we do have sponsorships from Buffalo Wild Wings here at the club. So thank you to the Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, Maryland. About a 10-minute drive away here.
I could just see and feel all that money going into the coffers over here of the curling club.
Absolutely. A huge thank you to all of our on-ice sponsors of the Potomac Curling Club.
You know, I feel like we could sit there and take a picture of all their logos and have that as a preview sign that goes up in front of this.
In addition, this game also brought to you by the Moyer Realty team, putting you in a great home today.
Do you actually remember all these slogans?
No, I made that one up.
It sounds very
the
official.
Wings Beer Sports I did remember. That one I definitely made up.
I know nothing but the jingos of 15 different companies.
Mm-hmm. That's a sign of someone that watches way too much TV, I think. Looks like they'll stay on the outside, not quite get the roll they wanted. End up open in the house. An open hit for Dauernheim on his last shot of the end. I think he's going to try to get this this roll over behind his own guard. See if he can't force the 1 here. I'm sure Shaw would like to get the blank from them, so. Gotta assume it's yellow that got the victory there over on D. We just had a shake after 6.
Yep. I would agree. It looks like
Not exactly sure which team that was. I want to say it was Tony's Beer Distributors, but I'm not 100% sure. Dauernheim here ends up with the peel, rolls right out. I'm sure we'll see Shaw throw it through the house. Hold
looks
that
like
hammer into the 7th end.
final shot didn't go how Nick wanted it, so he's going to sit there and retry it again. Even though he may have shooken the
He wants to see that his
victory,
shot
he
was
wants
there.
to try it again.
Yeah. Congratulations to Team Tony's Beer Distributors. One step closer to that Senate plaque. And now Shaw will throw away his last stone of the end. Looks like we'll end up with a blank here. Nice clean, make sure it doesn't do anything crazy.
Through the back of the house it goes.
And it does sail right through for a big 0 in the 6th end. Joe is leaving me now. He has to go to get ready for his own game coming up here shortly for the house plaque. But perhaps we'll have a guest commentator join me shortly. As the 7th end begins here. Looks like the first shot here is going to be a little heavy, end up back of the house, if anything. Perhaps even all the way through. Nope, and it'll stop in the back 8, so not a great first shot, but relatively inoffensive as far as they go. Shaw through their corner guard with a yellow, needing to score at least a deuce here to tie the game going into 8. They'll probably want to score a few more, give themselves a lead, since they won't have the hammer in that last end. Here comes that draw from Shaw. Looks like they're sweeping hard to get around the guard. Will they get there? Looks like they'll get around the guard. Will it stop in time now? Oh, here they go. That's a great shot. They got just around the guard, ended up top 4. Still a little bit open here, but there's not that much of that rock visible. Looks like Dauernheim will have Brian Ewart throw this shot at the yellow. Try to get this hit. I'm sure he thinks that if he taps that guard, it's not the end of the world. They'll just have the open hit on the next one. As long as he can force, he's in very good shape going into this last end. Oh, they don't quite get the hit. They end up peeling off their own guard, but the house is now wide open. They've got some clean shots, depending on what Shaw does next. Sorry again about that freeze we're having on the far side. Looks like they end up with their draw over. They don't quite get it behind the guard, but they do have the two rocks in the house well separated. I think the double might be there, but it's a very hard shot, definitely. Now joining me in the announcing booth, another family member of a player on this game, Enrique Kempenich, my father, and also the father of Gabriel Kempenich, playing second for Team Shaw. Welcome.
Good evening. I just arrived at the club now, so I'll be helping here with our broadcast until the end of this game, and then later I play one of the lower level playoff games.
Another one of our playoff games for the house plaque, I believe, right?
Yes.
Quick delivery coming out. Brian Ewert trying to get this double. No sweep coming from the sweepers. And it looks like, what did they do? Looks like they got one, ended up hitting their own rock in the back. Now just one yellow rock sitting in the house, all by itself.
And for Gabe's shot, he's going to go for a simple hit and stick on the shot rock there, the only rock in the house.
No, they're yellow.
Oh, they're yellow.
So they'll be
drawing to the other side. Okay, sorry about that.
Their one guard over on the right side. It's really on the corner of the house, but I'm sure having even that will be helpful for them.
So the in-turn throw.
My apologies on never giving that update after the sixth end on every sheet, but on sheet A, we have team. Of course, the skips are standing right in front. All right, Team Humdrum with a lead 4-3 over Team Dobbs. That's our playoff game for the Senate plaque. And over on sheet C, our 1-2 playoff game for the club championship, we had another blank in the sixth, so that'll leave our score 3-3 after 6. Dauernheim now going to try looks like he's just going to try the straight hit on the middle rock. Knowing him, though, I'm sure he's going to perhaps attempt that long roll across the house, but it's going to be mighty hard to do.
I see I was replaced by Gildad while I was gone. I feel like this is a casting improvement, so I'm not too unhappy about it. I'm next to all the volume controls now.
Not at all, not at all.
Having 3 people, definitely an improvement over 2. Obviously, 2 great improvement over 1. Controlling everything myself and having to talk to you people is very, very difficult.
So Bob's rock is a hit, takes the yellow rock out, but rolls outside.
Yep.
And loses the shooter.
Yep, we'll have Shaw attempting to split the house again, as they've been doing for most of this end now. Here they come, sweeping hard to get it right to the house. Oh,
Not
it
quite
looks like
there.
they will end up short. A small bailout to Dauernheim's error there. Looks like they're going to leave them with a shot to take it out and either force the one or force another blank. If I were Shaw here, I think you got to go for the blank at this spot. Down 2 with the hammer is a better place to be in than down 1 without, in my eyes.
Yeah, I'd go with down 2 with rather than down 1 without.
Bob Williams' final shot at the end is away here. Looks like it won't quite get there. It will not curl enough, and Shaw will end up with another chance to draw. Now behind another guard. It's going to make these hits far more difficult for Dauernheim at the completion of this end.
This end is setting up much more to their liking than the last one did.
Absolutely.
That's okay. Okay. Still heavy?
No sweeping. Looks like they're a little heavy there.
See what happens.
Oh, they're back 8.
Yeah, it does look like they'll stop just barely biting the back 12. From the ice here, it looks like Dauernheim will try another tap back. Probably not too much weight, just going to come with almost a heavy draw, it looks like here. From the ice, it looks like they might be trying to get around hack weight.
And that's Brian's first rock.
My mistake on the score over on sheet C for that 1-2 playoff game. I had read it wrong. After the 6th end, score was 5-3 to Clausen. And now here in the 7th end that has just finished, K-Kegs took 1 to make it a 5-4 game. So K-Kegs throwing the first stone of this 8th end, down by 1.
And crashes the guard as going across and doesn't get anything, which...
that is not a very good shot for Dauernheim here.
Now that's a very dangerous
Going to allow
setup.
Shaw a draw. Sit 3 in the house. Dauernheim is going to need a double to count them down to anything really but 3.
So where would you put it now? Would you put it in the middle, or would you try hiding the one in the back, putting like a biter in the front on the left side as we're looking here?
Well, we've got that wide open rock now in the back to hit if they really want. I would play it towards that left side.
Somewhat protecting that, but you look at that ice and it looks like he's going to the right side.
I like going somewhere
or
around,
totally behind the cover.
I like going somewhere around top 12, maybe somewhere around here. Here? Nope, apparently I can't draw on the screen. Oh well.
Next time we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Again, as we said, high production value here at the Potomac Club.
And it's
Gotta
curling
go
a
hard.
lot.
Going
Looks
right
like
towards
they're
that guard
right
right
on
there.
that guard. Looks like they'll try the tap up.
Or take a roll inside.
Oh, they tick. Will they get the roll on?
got the
It's
roll
yes.
on the
fighting.
rings.
They'll get the roll on, but now the question, is there a double available?
There is a double. There's always a double. It's just that it's a
The
long
double, yeah. It's a long double, and your stone will be sitting outside the house.
Yeah.
It'll be an easy opportunity for.
That's right. If
Two
you
then.
make the double. The other option, of course, is hitting the top yellow and trying to roll to the one on the right.
I mean, you're still hitting like here, and then if you hit this side with this turn, you'll get on the house at least.
Dauernheim ready for his final shot of the end. Coming with the out turn. Slight turn from the inside to the outside. Looks like he'll try to hit this rock just about nose.
And that's probably the ice to get the double.
Yep, I would say it is. It looks like he's just trying to the double straight back on that yellow stone. Not going to try anything crazy with the stone off on the opposite side of the house.
Yeah! Yep!
Sweeping early, here it is. And they get the
quite
touch,
the right angle.
but not quite the double. And they'll roll and stay outside the house. Shaw is going to have a draw into
Wide
an
open
open
draw.
house for 3 points to take the lead again.
And then that would go to the eighth end with ahead one without the hammer, which is always a tricky situation, but much better than what they are right now.
Scoring the 3 here would be a huge swing in the game.
Oh, you want to go to mine? Okay.
For those of you following the time limit at home, we have 1 minute left, 1 minute, and then they'll be allowed to finish the end that they're on. So it looks like we'll have the hammer throw for this end, and then we'll be
quickly
starting the 8th.
Looks like
We'll
all
be
teams
able
will
to
sit there and
finish
get themselves out there for the 8th end.
last game. Looks like they think this shot is good on weight. It'll sail a little, not enough to go out, and yellow will take their 3 in the 7th. Now getting ready here for the final end.
Well, and they always say if you're close, just like be.
Be like in or guard? I think so.
We'll have Dauernheim here, down 1 with the hammer in the 8th end.
And that is officially your team, right, Gilad?
That's right. As I told our wonderful viewers, I am officially the 5th member on Team Dauernheim. And so I'm trying to keep my bias out of this broadcast as much as I can. Yellow throws their first rock in the house. Honestly, I'm surprised that Dauernheim is not just trying to hit it here. They're obviously trying to get there too. I'm going to play this guard early. Not too worried about the yellow stones in the house. Thinks that he'll be able to play with his last rock regardless. Try to set up nicely for 2 here. And if that doesn't work out, I'm sure he'll be happy to take 1 and continue this game.
Melvin calling for a draw behind there.
Line's okay.
Sounds like it's a little light. Melvin going out to help them with the sweeping.
No, it's just Gabe sweeping that one. They want to promote the curl and to go behind the shot rock there.
Looks
They're
like
It's
they
just going to
almost
get very close to it.
Get it though.
Center guard.
Well, it looks like it's biting.
Let's take a look here.
Oh, no. Just short of the house.
Yeah, it looks like we're just short here from our camera angle.
And now Brian probably thinking about how he can use that as a guard for his rocks. Put one behind his guard and then maybe use this one later.
He can, of course, hit the back one if he really wants, but...
And roll behind.
But I don't think that that's what he wants to do at this point. Looks like he's just going to try the draw to the outside, and he's going to want to end up with this this double later on in the end.
How much? Got room. Make sure it's here. Got him at the white. Oh, that's right. That's good.
Well, he drew a guard to the other side now, trying to place more rocks in front and have stuff to hide behind later in this end.
The curl's a lot this way, so.
Shaw looks like he's just trying this peel here. Yep, and the rock comes out. It's got a decent amount of weight. Coming nicely. Melvin asking for just a clean. Looks like we'll get a nice clean peel, and off go both rocks. Keep it nice and open. A little tripping here over our outside guards, but looks like it didn't cause much issue. Dauernheim calling here for Brian Ewert to hit the guards, I think. Oh, nope, it looks like he's calling another guard. He's going to wait for that for a little bit later. Calling another guard, going to try to get his deuce and win outright.
Meanwhile, in sheet C, they're trading hits here. KKX is still trying to put something in the house, but the Clausens are hitting very effectively and taking the red rocks out of play.
Trying to hold on to that 1-point lead they've got with the hammer.
Redstone's going to be a deep guard. Might even be in the house right here. Yep, just biting.
Yep, just bites the house. Second shot.
And
looks like yellow is calling a hit and tap on their own. They're going to jam on their own rock and tap it slightly over, make sure it's right behind the guard. Obviously, plan A is making sure they hit that red rock nice and clean. There's the sweep, they get the tick. The small bounce back. Looks like it bounced a little further than they would have liked, but definitely not a bad shot. They end up with two rocks almost where they were, and then their own other one a little behind, but open.
so it's
hit by Dauernheim.
right next to the button, and Dauernheim is looking at hitting that shot rock and potentially rolling behind. Now he's changing his call and going for a double on the front one.
I like this call here. You know, relatively early in the end, we've got 5 rocks left to throw for Team Dauernheim. So hitting this out here will allow him the freedom that he needs to make his shots later on in the end. He gets one.
Top
And
rock's
the
been
rocks
sick,
slightly
though.
roll to the back of the house. Don't quite go much further than that. So yellow now with 2 rocks in the house, no guards, and red sitting with their corner guard off on the left side. The right side for all of you.
Yeah, I think we let him throw it.
Melvin now trying to guard one of these hits, perhaps the double itself.
heavy for a guard.
Does look a little heavy. Let's see if this ends up rolling into the house. I don't think so, though. I think it'll stop at about a 3. Biter at most. Yep, stops up short. About a 3 guard, nice and tight to the house. But I think Dauernheim still has this double. Looks like, yeah, that's what he's looking at, discussing with his vice here. Very important shots to come.
It looks like in the 8th end on sheet C, they tied it up and they're going to an extra end now.
Yep, K-Keg's able to steal one on Team Clausen, and now playing the 9th end. Big game there in the 1-2 matchup. The loser of that will play the winner of our feature game here at 9:30 p.m. I will not be here to broadcast that game, but perhaps someone else will stay.
I will not broadcast that game because I'll be on the ice playing.
It's a much better reason than mine. Thanks, Keith, for rooting for the right squad. Looks like they'll get the hit, but not quite the roll the way they wanted. Not enough curl on that rock, and they'll end up rolling just behind their rock. That's actually not a terrible roll for them. They'll end up guarded, so it's going to be very hard for Shaw to hit that rock. But again, they're going to need a hit on the inside one to be able to take the 2 that they want.
Now, is Shaw calling for a hit on that rock in the house? Or at this point, I would probably guard mine in the house.
I'm really not sure what he's trying to call here. Although, Keith, just so you know, I was counting the rock that they were throwing. So now we've got both teams now left with 3 rocks to throw, including the one currently being thrown by Shaw.
Come back to it. Okay, life's okay. Life's okay.
No, it's still that. It's the guard.
Playing the guard, trying to make it a little more difficult to get the hit on the open stone. They'll get it nice and slightly overlapping. Nope, not quite overlapping their other guard, but very good shot nonetheless. I'm sure Dauernheim here will try to take out as many guards as possible, open everything up, and allow himself a good shot with his last rock to attempt to win the game.
Yeah, what he has to go for here is really take out the 2 guards and roll his rock out somewhere else, leaving the shot rock that's in the 4-foot open, and then forcing Shaw to put the guard there that might cover or might not cover.
I think his call here is definitely the double
Yeah,
on
it's
the
the double on the guards.
But if he doesn't quite curl enough, he may end up with a double on the rock in the house. If this guard goes back, it may end up taking that rock sitting in the 4-foot.
Early sweeping call.
They've got 1. They've got 2.
Oh, they got their own out.
Jam on the rock on the side. That really takes away their ability for the deuce. It's a hard shot to see.
So now we want to be Denver, right? Yeah.
Shaw with their first skipped stones here in the 8th end.
I mean, I think the under curls the air side anyways, right?
We can see hear Courtney discussing the amount of curl we're going to get on this rock. Looks like it's a nice
A
rock.
very nice guard.
Curled nicely. Still looks a little bit open off the inside here, but it's not going to be as easy as they would like.
How much do you see, Brian?
The back end asking for some more information now from their sweepers. How much of that rock they can see. Taking a while to decide this shot. Looks like he's going to just try the hit here. Nice lightweight. No more than hack for sure. This is a lot of ice he's going with. It's relatively curly today, but nothing crazy.
He's calling, I think, about back 4, back 8. Just to
tap
move
back.
it and stay in front of it.
Yep. Allow himself a chance to get a deuce later. Looks like they're just calling back line from the signal they gave. Just a heavy draw, as you heard Bob say. Brian Dauernheim now ready to throw his first skip stone. It's like a nice light draw. They say they've got room. They're going to be very close to this. They need it to curl a little more. They get the tap. Goes back.
Ooh, hard to tell who shot.
Not sure who's shot now. It looks like yellow is slightly closer. Just by a hair, though. Not very much at all. Shaw now deciding what he's going to want to do. Both teams shuffling around, looking at which one is shot. Shaw's got nothing on the yellow stone in the back, so they can't do much crazy here. Looks like they'll just throw another guard. Try to not allow Dauernheim that same tap back to try to get the deuce.
Yeah, he would only need to touch that red rock to place 1.
Exactly.
And
if he taps it with enough, he might even be able to tap that yellow even
out
further and get the deuce that he wants. We'll see. If it is covered, though, I don't know. I think he might even try that draw off the far end of the house over on the outside. Again, Shaw set up here just for the guard. A nice easy 2. Just a little left of center. If not, just touching the center line is probably the best.
But then Brian has the other shot, which would be just a draw into that yellow with a very light tap with the back 4 weight.
That's right.
And that would also place 2.
That's a very precise shot. I think they're willing to give him that. Very difficult way to try to score 2 at the end of the game.
And we still don't know who's shot here.
Well, I have a feeling that ooh, she falls, but does not burn the stone.
But looks light.
Looks very light. It looks like it's over curling.
It's still over the center line, so it works for what he needed.
Just barely over. covering the stone.
Lucky that she didn't burn the rock.
Yeah, very lucky. We'll see what happens here. Yellow. Looks like they're sitting one at the moment.
And that's the last
Red
shot.
with their final shot of the game coming.
Perhaps.
Assuming they don't score one, of course. The final shot of the end, definitely. The whole team down here now helping to decide what they're going to do. Or will they try a light draw, tap their rock over into the yellow? Or will they try a heavier draw off the right side of the guards that we can see?
If yellow is shot, there are
And
two
tap yellow
options.
back.
If red is shot, they can also go with a draw to the button, but they're not looking at that, so they're not sure who is closer there. Brian now looking at the red into yellow, so he would throw.
It's gonna be tough to get to that spot on the red stone, though. You really got to. But I don't know if you've got enough weight to tap it into the yellow. I think that's a shot for one. And it's risky too. If he hits too little of it, he might just tap his stone to the side and not even outcount the yellow.
Going down to the last two rocks over here on sheet C also.
That in the ninth end, of course.
Yep, extra ends.
Playing much quicker than here.
So he really needs to hit that red on the left side and shove it into the yellow. That would be like about the back 8 weight.
That's what I would say. Back 8, back 12 at most. You really don't need a lot.
And
They really needed to curl past the guard. It is curling once it goes, but they're going to have to get real close to that yellow if they want this shot. The shot's away. They say it's got space.
Oh, it's curling.
Plenty of room. They want to make sure. They want to make sure their shot. They need this to curl. They need this to curl. Here it goes. It cuts. They're sweeping it for the weight. Try to get it there.
It's going to overcurl on him.
They've got the slight tap. The yellow tap slightly back.
It's one.
It looks like red takes one here. And we've got bonus curling in Laurel, Maryland.
And that means that my late game is going to go into tomorrow.
It's going to start at 10 o'clock. It's going to be the beginning of the game.
After a well-played 8 ends, we end up with a 6-6 tie. Dauernheim and Shaw playing for their lives in the club championship.
It's a red guard at the beginning of the extra end here. heavy. Yes, Melinda, I did curl until almost 1 a.m. Yeah, we ended up curling until about 12:30. Not only I have the late draw tonight, I have the late draw tomorrow night also. So it's good that I didn't have a late draw on Monday for men's league.
Better to forfeit a game than play a late draw, huh?
It happens sometimes.
Dauernheim set up nicely to steal here. The two guards staggered nicely very close to the center.
And Shaw calling for a draw behind those two guards. Laura's second rock.
I'm surprised that, well, no, I'm not. I'm sure that on that next rock, they'll be getting ready to hit it right away.
Double out the two reds, unless they're well hidden behind.
But regardless, they
got a little bit of a tick there.
They want it to stay open.
They got a little bit of a tick, so now they have their own guard and a chance to hit those two guards.
Not
on the
really
next shot.
what they wanted to do. Looks like Dauernheim will try that draw in themselves, try to beat them to the forefoot, win that game to the scoring area. Over on C, the game has now ended. The 1-2 playoff matchup at the beginning of these playoffs. Clausen with the extra end victory. They were the 1 seed. They'll be moving on to the club championship next week.
But they had to take it to an extra end.
Two very exciting playoff games.
Both going to extra
today.
ends here.
Much to the chagrin of the people playing in the next draw.
Did Dobbs lose on A?
Well, they took down the score already, so I'll have to ask someone as they get off the ice who ended up winning that game. I missed seeing it. And, yep, it looks like Shaw will be playing that hit on the guards up in front, just trying to get things out of the way, keep it open, allow themselves a nice, easy draw at the end of the game.
Keith, not only I'm not retired, but I have to be in the office tomorrow at 8:30. And today I had a trip to Philadelphia that I had to drive there for a series of meetings and then come back. So, yeah, I'm going to be very tired. Maybe Friday evening I can get some sleep and go to bed at 7, like the old man that I am.
Hey, not an old man yet, still not eligible for the senior curling championships this year.
Of senior age, but not eligible.
That is the threshold, right?
Yes, you have to be 50 at the beginning of the curling season, as defined as July 1st at the beginning of the season. So because my birthday is on the second half of the year, I'm 50 already, but I'm not a senior yet.
Technically. Can anybody tell this is a family announcing team?
Now Dauernheim with that rock in the house, and Shaw trying to clean up the guards with Gabe, and maybe attempted to go for a double there.
Keith, we just got that info for you. Dobbs did, in fact, lose their game on A. That would be Humdrum as the victors. They, of course, will be moving on to play Team Tony's Beer Distributors. The winner of that will take home the coveted Senate plaque. Dauernheim now looking like he's going to try to put back that guard that just got taken away. If not, just a draw behind their own stone.
Keep 2 in the house, even better. As long as they're not doubleable.
The guard looks good. Looks like it'll stop at about a 2. Still on the right side of the center line here. Pretty much exactly where the Shaws just peeled from. And of course, here he comes to do it one more time.
Courtney's attempt now to double out the guards.
Her first throw of the end. And they'll get one, but not get both, and they'll leave their own rock there.
So just replace the guard.
Leaving it there, not the shot they wanted. I don't know what Dauernheim will do here. I have a feeling he'll just try to get that draw behind. Yep, he's giving plenty of ice. Looks like he wants the draw right to the top 4. This Bob Williams' final throw of this end. Here they come. Looks like they're sweeping for the weight. Trying to get it all the way to the forefoot. Looks like it's a little deep. They're trying to curl over a little, not leave themselves open. Looks like they can see part of it, but they won't be going for it. It's going to be the classic peel of shame. They'll be peeling out their own rock, giving themselves a much more open hit on the next shot. Courtney now throwing her last shot of this end.
Might get the double there, but no, it's open enough that it's taking out just the guard.
They'll get the clean peel, leave every red rock exposed, able to be hit. We'll see what Dauernheim does to combat that.
At this point, the guard.
I agree. At this point, a guard.
Just protect your shot rock.
Probably in about the same spot that you've been throwing them. Just directly in front of your rock, a little bit higher than your other guard. Probably between a 1 and a 2. Pretty far away from the house.
Yeah, just close that and leave a harder shot for shot at the end. Maybe the draw behind that shot rock. I will have to sign off now because I have to get ready for my game. Enjoy Gilad's commentary as I get into my curling shoes and get ready for my game. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much for joining me here in the commentary. It's been a pleasure. Our apologies to anybody that was on the stream. I can no longer see your comments, unfortunately, but you can still hear my voice talking about this game. It's a great place for me to be in. A captive audience, truly. I I have people here in the warm room telling me I'm not beholden to you any longer. Now again, the guard over-curling just a tiny bit. Looks like Shaw will try to get around it and onto that red stone in the house. Of course, taking the guard, opening it up even more is not a bad shot at all. Melvin's away with his first shot of the extra end. They got real tight on that. I think it's too close to call. I'm not going to make a decision from that. I really have no idea what shot. You guys at home can think. Looks like Dauernheim is throwing another draw. So I don't know if they're just trying to tap their rock in a little more or what, but they're giving ice here for just the draw. Or that might actually be ice for the guard. I really am not sure. Dauernheim now ready to throw his final shot of the end, probably the game, unless somehow we manage to blank this end. Seems unlikely at this point. People in the warm room here seem to think that red is shot, so this might end up actually just being a guard. The way he came out, it looks like he's trying the draw, but we'll see what happens. The early sweep from Brian Ewart. Looks like it's probably just for line. Rock is coming nicely. They think it's all there. They do put a rock right in the way. It looks like they think that there's a shot as well. Going to try to make that shot against Shaw much more difficult. Melvin Shaw now discussing what they can do. Looks like he wants to try to tap that red rock through, but they're going to have a full discussion with the rest of their team. I'm sure if they had a coach and available timeouts, they would call one here, but unfortunately we don't have that here in our club curling. They definitely could use some more thought as to what they're going to throw at this point. Any shot here is hard. Getting the double with the red they just threw is very, very difficult. You're going to have to really skinny by a guard and get to it. The natural double here on the shot on the right, I don't think works either. I think you would end up having a jam if you try to hit it naturally. It looks like he's going to try to go in off the outside rock. Try to slam into that red, push it out enough, and end up shot himself. Definitely a high difficulty shot, but when you're playing in a life or death match, that's the kind of shot you have to throw. Melvin now ready to throw his final shot. Here it is. Courtney calls them up early. Looks like they've got plenty of ice, plenty of ice. It's not curling. It's just not moving quite enough. They end up splitting out. Looks like they think red's got it. Everyone's shaking. With that, we'll put one up for Dauernheim. Looks like we have a Dauernheim victory. 7-6 after 9 hard-fought ends. We'll have another game here in the late draw. Dauernheim playing for a spot in the championship against K-Kegs. The winner to meet Clausen next week in the Potomac Curling Club Championship at approximately 7:30 p.m. So definitely tune in for that next week. But now, signing off here from Potomac Curling Club, this is Gilad Kempenich. I'm happy you tuned in. Please tune in next time for the Capital Area Curling Network. Thank you very much.